Lesson number 10, deciding for rebellion. We're going to backtrack a little bit, guys, and go back to a little bit of the history behind what happened to cause the American colonists to decide to rebel against Great Britain and try to start their own country. It starts off as just them trying to kind of work things out, but we all know that it leads to a war and eventually independence for the 13 colonies. So, what this lesson and the assignments that are underneath it are going to focus on is how things transition from the colonists trying to work things out with Britain and the king to all out war. And we really got to think about, which makes all this really crazy, is the people that were in charge of the colonies. You always hear about George Washington, Ben Franklin, John Adams, all these guys that you've probably heard about since you were little kids. When they make the decision to do this, they know that if it doesn't go well and they lose, they're probably going to lose their lives over it because they're committing treason, meaning that they're going against the English crown or the English king. So they make this decision knowing that if it doesn't work out, there's a good chance they'll be killed, and that their families will either be killed or that they'll experience probably not so great lives after they're gone. So how do you make that decision? How do you go from trying to work things out to trying to fight to get rid of English rule, despite knowing that if it doesn't work out, you might lose your life? So our topic goals, this will be a quick one. You're supposed to just be able to describe key terms that are associated with the decision of the British colonies to rebel. So remember, when we say the British colonies, we're just talking about the 13 American colonies. So I'm just going to kind of go over briefly some terms and some important words that you'll see in the assignments that I really want you to focus on. The question you'll be able to answer at the end of all this is, why did the colonists decide to rebel? You'll be able to describe how they go from trying to work things out to wanting independence and fighting for that in a war. So these are the words. At this point, it might be a good idea to kind of pause the video and either write these down or use your snipping tool or screenshot to take these and have them somewhere, because when you see these terms in the assignment, I really want you to focus on them and make sure that you fully understand them. You do not have to write everything down that you see on the screen when you see these terms. I don't want you to do that. You can either use your snipping tool or your screenshot to maybe use information that's on the screen then, or you can just take notes yourself. But please do not write down everything that you see on the screen. It's a waste of time. You can take notes or you can use your screenshot or snipping tool. So when you see these words, I just want you to focus on them. I'll give you just a brief background, but this will be in the assignment as well. So there's two meetings, essentially. That's what the Continental Congresses are. It's when all the colonies sent representatives to meet and kind of discuss their options when it came to Great Britain and deciding what to do about the king. So the first meeting was called the First Continental Congress. And the things that you see underneath of that, the Declaration of Resolves, Committees of Observation and Safety, and Lexington and Concord, those are things that happen at or during the First Continental Congress, the first meeting. It's not a meeting that lasts like one night. It lasts for months and months. And then later there's going to be another meeting called the Second Continental Congress. The things that happen at that meeting are the Olive Branch Petition and the Proclamation of Rebellion. So when you go through the lesson, when you see these big terms, make sure you either take notes on them. Don't just write everything down you see on the screen, or you can use your snipping tool or your screenshot to take down information on them. So at the end of the lesson or the assignment, there's going to be a question. The question that you're going to have to answer is up on the screen as well. I want you to keep it in mind while you're going through the material in the next assignment. I'll read it to you. It says, how were the goals of the First Continental Congress and the Second Continental Congress different? So what you'll do is you'll look at the goals of the First Continental Congress, see what the colonists were trying to do at the first meeting. Then you'll look at what they were trying to do at the second meeting. Then you'll have to describe how it was different, how things changed from the first to the second meeting. That's the purpose of the question, is to see that transition, to see how things changed, how they went from the first Continental Congress wanting one thing to how they went to wanting something different at the Second Continental Congress. So there's only I think two questions underneath, and they're just kind of make sure that you actually watch the video. The big stuff and the big material will be in the lessons below. There's some videos and some information that I typed out. People tended to like this assignment last year. It incorporates videos from an HBO special called John Adams. A lot of people seem to like it. If you need help or anything like that, contact me as always. If not, good luck.